Okay, you're gonna have to ignore my hair and ignore that I feel like absolute crap today because I don't really care. Um, I said that I would go into more detail about the person who's making fun of me for being pregnant, but I wanted to give you some background first because it's a little weird. So hold on. This is a self-admitted post, so this is something that she posted on Substack, which is now another platform that she's expanded to. I think that makes 5 different platforms she's talking about me on, but this was probably one of the most concerning things that I saw. I was a normal wife and mom, just living a regular life. My days look like play dates, grocery runs, and watching true crime, not living one. Looking back now, that version of my life seems almost unrecognizable, not because it wasn't real, but because I had no idea how quickly it would shift, how fast something completely out of my control could collide and refuse to let go. I want to make something very clear. Nobody in the world, not a soul, not a single person in the world said, hey, you have to deal with this. You're involved. Do it. Nobody. Nobody. She inserted herself in the situation. She made herself known. She made herself look into this situation she believes is happening, and she became obsessed and couldn't stop. I'll put another snippet here. I'm a true crime junkie and a self-proclaimed internet sleuth. It's something friends and family have always joked that if they ever went missing, they wouldn't call the authorities, they'd call me. So I did what I do best. I started digging, and sure enough, this wasn't the first time. As the cyber stalking, harassment, lies, and court filings escalated, that stayed with me quiet but in the back of my mind. There has been nothing quiet about this woman since July. She's not stopped talking, actually. She's just done nothing but continue to post about me. Like I said, 2 to 10 posts a day, 15-part videos, continuous behavior. She's admitted in these same blog posts that she dug deep into my court filings. She's looked me up on everything. She has talked to my past employers. She's contacted people who worked with me. She's talked to my ex-husband. Like, she's literally inserted herself in this situation. So when I tell you that this is insane, that's the background we're handling here. Nobody said, hey, you're not involved at all. This isn't your child. This isn't your ex. This isn't anybody that has anything to do with you. This isn't your life or your responsibility, but we want you to be the person who talks about it. Nobody said that. Not a soul. Nobody said, hey, here you go. You need to talk about this. She took that upon herself. So now to go online and talk about how, oh my gosh, I can't believe my whole life has just been turned upside down because of this. And I'm just I just can't believe it. Girl, you just admitted that you're an internet sleuth and you saw it and you had to be involved. So you started digging like you always do. If anybody's been quiet through this process, it's been me. It's been 10 months of this. It's been since June, July. She inserted herself in the first visit that I was ever part of. I wasn't even part of it. I dropped off my husband to his custody visit because he needed a ride. Back then, there's a completely different story for that, but I stayed with my kids in a completely different part of the park. No reason for anybody to be involved. She invited herself to this custody visit. Her and her husband and her son invited herself to this custody visit. She made herself known. She came. Nobody said, hey, you should be involved. Nope. Again, inserted herself. That's been the continuous problem. That's the concern here, is that nobody involved her. She had started making comments on Facebook back in July. So yeah, of course, Facebook is a social media. You have a public social media. Of course I commented on it. That's what social media is for. You talk back and forth to each other. And then she didn't like the fact that I was involved and I was going to help my husband get custody of his daughter, as far as like getting him in connect with a lawyer and to start looking into it, going to the law library and things. And she was so mad about it. She was so mad about it. And why? In our injunction hearing that we had, that was the judge's question the entire time. I mean, she said things like, well, then she got evicted. And he's like, okay, why do you care? And she literally answered, because it affects me. Why? Why does my eviction affect you? Why does anything that happens in my life affect you? It shouldn't. Nothing about my life should ever affect you. I don't even know who you are. And to make it very clear, I have filed charges. I've filed lawsuits. I've sent cease and desist. I've asked for TROs. I've had a restraining order hearing, which was so close to being granted, but the only reason it wasn't was because she said that I had commented on her post. So the judge was like, well, you can't claim harassment if you contacted her. And it was bullshit. But it's just to the point of concern. Like, why are you posting every single day? So that brings me to the comments being made about my pregnancy. So I did not want to get pregnant. I did not want to have any more kids. And then my current husband, had brought up the fact that he really wanted to just have another baby. And so I said, you know what? I would like to try. I've had 2 miscarriages. I can't guarantee that anything is going to happen, but we can try. This was back in August of last year. So we started trying and we continued to try. And we had a couple that, we'd get a positive pregnancy test and then it would turn out to be a chemical pregnancy. It's very depressing and it's very sad. So we decided to stop really trying. We weren't not preventing, but we weren't trying anymore. There wasn't any ovulation testing or any of the things, the trying to conceive stuff. And, life got really stressful and we went through some stuff and we're going through some stuff. But, that's life. You go through things. And we were surprised in February with me getting pregnant. That was something we were trying, we were praying, but we weren't trying. And we, like, it happens when it's supposed to happen. And I've been blessed that it's been healthy so far, besides me going in all the time because I'm stressed out because of this person. And I'm so afraid that she's going to make me lose my baby because of how stressed out she makes me, because of how obsessed and crazy she is. But yesterday, she specifically made a video. So she's at the beach with my stepdaughter for my stepdaughter's birthday. And she made sure to make a post while she is on the beach, God's beautiful creation, about me and about me having a baby. And how she couldn't believe that I would ever get pregnant when I'm going through the things that I'm going through. And that if she was ever to have a baby, she would wait till all this craziness is over. You're not involved. This has nothing to do with you. There's no craziness for you. You've done nothing. Like nothing, nobody has forced you to be involved. Nobody has asked you to be involved. But then I was told that this is the person who told her sister that if her sister was pregnant with a boy, she was going to push her down the stairs so she would lose the baby because she was going to be the first person to have a boy. So that gave me all the answers I needed. This story is just insanely crazy and so much, but the reality is there's no reason to make fun of pregnant women. It doesn't matter if they're going through something or not. Pregnancy is beautiful and you shouldn't take that away from anybody. Making fun of a pregnant woman just shows how shitty you are as a human being. And all of this just shows that this is the most crazy thing that I've ever dealt with. And hopefully it stops soon. I don't see it stopping because somebody who's obsessed like this they physically cannot stop talking about you. So I don't think she'll ever stop talking about me, but we can only hope. I'm running out of time on this video and really I want to lay down for a little while. So I'll talk more about it, I guess, if I need to. But for right now, that was my promised video and I hope you guys have a really great day.